I'm Josh Dinkins. This is my family business. Probably the first thing I remember about this business was when my dad sold Amazing Spider-Man #1 out of our house. We sold that for $800, and that was a big deal at the time. As a kid, I worked at flea markets Saturday and Sunday selling comics, and eventually we got to the point where we have this giant store now. So it was a very meager beginning, but my dad, as a true collector, just kept collecting comics over the years, and now we have this incredible collection, this incredible store here. Nothing is really typical, but really the first thing to do is to huddle with my team, find out what's going on. Enzo is the kind of personality to where every comic book store has to have somebody like this.
I'm Enzo. I am the store manager here at ACME.
His knowledge of everything, both current as well as older, what's been out there, is as deep as can be.
A typical day looks like basically just coming in and processing collections that people bring in.
Grading comics and getting those out.
You know, updating stuff online, fielding questions, helping people out with stuff, talking shop, being like a bartender.
Typical day can range, but never a dull moment, that's for sure. What my customers tell me is that we have more back issues than anybody else. Very specific. I have runs of most all Marvel comics, maybe missing a few here and there.
You also have collectibles. You'll have toys, which could be loose or still in package. You'll have statues.
We're really good with that. I think our G.I. Joe collection, which it is considered the world's most popular action figure. And so I think we might have one of the largest G.I. Joe collections on the planet. Star Wars toys, lots of various kind of toys from the 80s and other shows.
Movie memorabilia or special hard to find items, from 1/1 pieces to candy and chips. Yeah.
Find here things that you can't find anywhere else. And so one of the things that makes this place great is our ability to do events. So we have a room called the Danger Room. It's on the far side of the building. We do events from our own little conventions from time to time. Even though the artists are mostly local, there's still some great artists and writers that come out. Free Comic Book Day. It happens twice a year. The next one is coming up in May. So those kinds of events is really neat. Not many comic book and toy stores are blessed with the kind of event space that we have. The things that we get that are really rare, we get a lot of Silver Age comics in it. That would be Marvel's first titles, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men. Unfortunately, I don't have too much of the Golden Age, but if I ever do get them in, they usually sell very quickly. And I'm not sure if it's the movies that have come out, that probably has a lot to do with it, I think. But the value has exceeded because, as sure there were high print runs, especially in the 90s and even the 80s, but the concept of supply and demand, well, the demand has increased more than I ever thought it would. Geek culture is on the rise. It's raging. That wasn't there when I was a kid, and it's helped a lot for this business, I think, too. Kids come in with their parents, and so I like to make sure we include stuff for the kid. We do have a kids' comic section.
Our typical customer is everyone. Maybe like 20 years ago that was different, but now it's everybody because everything is so saturated in pop culture that it brings everybody in.
And our customers are going to be folks that are real collectors. Sometimes people are looking for things that are going to be specific to when they were a child, like Transformers toys and G.I. Joe toys.
There's an influx of customers when a movie hits or whatnot, so Black Panther hits and there's new faces we've never seen.
They're usually going to look into things or be interested in things that are specific to their genre. I feel lucky, and I sometimes don't know if I deserve it. The customers that we have here, many of them were customers that I knew from the flea market when I was a kid. And I'm so thankful to have these folks as customers. So I maybe underestimated that when I was coming back to run the store here, but now that I'm back and I've seen just what love and friendships, we're fortunate to have our customers. We say we collect customers here. You know, day by day, it seems like sometimes it's just to keep the lights on. But more seriously, when I think about long term, I really want to be able to honor my family's legacy in making this the greatest comic store in the world. Where we're at now, we have a good footprint, but I sometimes wonder, I think I want to get bigger. I have more stuff. I could really use double the space. And I can see it within the realm of possibilities to be considered one of the best in the world. I don't have to be the best, but I'm going to try to be. When we do have a lot of kids that come in and they get that toy and they're so excited for it, like I can't even put it in a bag for them. It's not leaving their grip. You know, that kind of excitement, that kind of wonderment, you don't get that elsewhere. Actually have a box of comics I put in the front to where everybody, especially kids, leave with something. So even if their parents don't buy them anything, I'll give them some kids comics that I can give them for free. So the kids are a big part of it. And then of course it's neat too when you see adults that'll come in and get things that are very prized pieces of their collections that they had as children. There's some customers that'll come in and they'll geek out so much and they love this stuff and it feels like a home to them. It has it to the point where sometimes when I leave, I think, gosh, I wish the store was open later. I'm having such a good time. As a new comic book fan, it can get a little expensive, so I do have lots of trade paperbacks. They're essentially reprints of comics, and they'll put several in a series that go together. And it's great to be able to kind of get your feet wet, kind of get an idea of which comics you like, which ones you want to read more. And so I recommend those for new readers.
If you're new to comics, my recommendation would be, what are you interested in? Like, what do you like? And it doesn't even have to be like, what's your favorite superhero? Someone could go, I don't know, I like cooking. And we would start talking about cooking in comics, like Chew or some other comic out there. In the world of comics, especially these days, there are a ton of different titles out there for everyone, whether you're young, old, gay, straight, male, female, trans, in between, whatever. There's literally a book out there for you right now. I think that's what's so beautiful is anybody can come in that door and say, I like this, and we can find a book for you.
Some folks might be watching this, have never heard of our store before, have never seen it. I guess maybe just a word to that, which would be, we have over 1 million items, have things from various different genres that are really neat. So whether it's toys or comics, different events we really want people to feel welcome. Come by and check us out.